Hi guys, Jake and MJ, back again for more live reactions to Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger. Chomp, 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 chomp. We are back again. I hope everyone had a good Martin Luther King Day weekend. Martin Luther King Jr. Day weekend. One thing that I wanted to make mention of was I found out when I was through the social medias, we keep commenting on how Ui hasn't been present in the last few episodes, and apparently her actress was in the hospital. I don't know the details. I think she was just ill and is now recovering. So it wasn't that the writers forgot she existed.
It was that the actress was in the hospital.
They were just writing around her. So
get well soon, Ui.
I hope she's doing better now. I think that she had messaged that she was recovering now. I don't know the details of that, but that does clarify a little bit on why she has just sort of vanished from the show recently. So hopefully all is good. I was sad to hear that, but it's good.
Better, Mana.
It's good to know there was a real reason
real
for
name.
that.
It's Mana.
Yes.
Feel better, Mana.
Hopefully Mana's feeling better. Apart from that, I'm trying to think if there was anything else going on this week. We did little bits of filming over the weekend, not for 89.90, because we finished up all of your stuff for 89.90, but we took care of some stuff for later down the line. We shot scenes from a number of episodes down the line, even towards the very end of the series.
Yes, so, well, one of my costumes is becoming a problem.
Yeah, we've been having a little trouble with that one. So we are continuing to make progress, even occasionally filming scenes from
far out in the future.
Like, I'll just put this out there. There have been multiple scenes now shot for the final episode.
Yep.
This is for several different characters.
If we're lucky, we'll be able to wrap on that costume soon.
Yeah.
Before it dies.
Yeah.
And you need to remake some parts of your costume because it's trying to die too.
Yeah, a little bit. Only a little bit. Really, it's the
legs, the belt.
The belt.
The belt.
For the Phantom.
The Phantom's belt is really trying to die.
Well, the problem is that it did die, and I haven't fully gotten the new version working smoothly yet. So it's a little clunky. It was kind of an improvised solution because of this noogie.
This guy chewed on the new Phantom Ranger.
No, the old. Well, yes, he did that as well, but he also.
Oh, he ate the old belt.
He ate the old belt.
You ate the old belt, you chewed on the new torso.
Yes, he did both those things.
What is wrong with you?
Back in 2018. And
he also chewed on the torso
really...
in 2019, and we had to fix it again.
Yeah. So...
I have pica,
he
and I chew on things that are not food.
I don't even know how he got at that belt, because it was in a box.
I chew on things that are not food. I've destroyed flip-flops.
Like, he really likes he likes foam. He really, really likes foam, and it's not a good thing for us.
Or him. He shouldn't eat that. It's bad for him. It makes him unwell.
So Power Reviews is continuing to make
slow
but steady progress.
White fur.
I did not get as much as I would have liked over the 3-day weekend, simply because I had a cold for the first time in a while. But I am gonna keep at it. I'm still trying to get some stunt people together for a few sequences that I'm trying to film. Didn't happen for this weekend or the previous weekend, maybe next weekend, hopefully. It's always just trying to balance around people's schedules, and so things get pushed out. But my big goal for this year is that by the end of this summer to have everything filmed for the rest of the series. I'm in a place where that is possible, and I'm hoping to continue to be in that place. And I'm hoping I can get 8990 out in the next, like, month or so. We'll see. Because those are going to be some cool episodes that are going to, be the big sort of turning point in year 3 as we flip over from the first half to the second half. And meanwhile, we got here with the Sentais, we're starting to look into their end game coming up pretty soon, because they are now at episode 42 of Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger, Decisive Stage. And
I thought it was going to turn out to be like a...
Oh, look! She's back. Except she's also being written out at the same time she's back. She's going to America. Are you sure it isn't a hoax?
She's just going to America? She keeps talking French.
I'm confused.
The wiki said she was part of something called Tokyo Girls Run. I thought that was going to turn out to be an idol group, but it's actually a fitness group.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so maybe she's going to France? He said hamburger, so I got confused. Okay, yeah, they're confused too. I thought she said America. So who's just flat out written out now?
Maybe she's going to Ontario.
K-boom! Girato hikaru sodo, chikate bateru rodo. Bum, 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 bana. Momo, ritai, kono, sekai, negade sanai to. Kimi tanara sono michi o yukeyo. Tadashiki and bumeru. You should know Akashi. Saa, soru o hitotsu ni. Donna toki demo nigenai. Dynamic daichi o narase hagane no chikara. Kirato hikaru sodo. Chikate bateru rodo. Yume wa hitori miru niori ni miyate. Yume ru tsuyoku naru. Kakanto genkai nado. Dokanto koete go. Segi ni tsuke no mi o tate. Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger.
Is it bad of me to hope that things don't work out for her in America?
Oh, because you want to see her back?
Yeah.
Not too bad for somebody who's still a little stuffed up. I'm still very much blowing my nose all day. I haven't been this stuffy in a while. I think it's because I'm actually, working a regular job again.
Yeah, you're around teenagers all the time.
Yeah, that'll do it. Love story. It's very informative. Oh, you're gonna get to the end of her.
Juliet?
I don't know if you're gonna.
Spoilers. Love and curry.
Love and curry.
Ow!
I'm wondering how long it's gonna take Canelo to get to the end of Romeo and Juliet. Energy drinks. Okay. Sure. Why not? And he just got knocked right out. So spicy you'll collapse. It was really spicy, but I'm feeling good. Okay, sure, why not? What? What?
The rest of them are now declining the beverage.
That's just a weird little.
I too would decline that beverage.
Hey, Waizu, right? Yeah. What's he got going? Little crazy opening act. It's a hit. wonder what this Minotaur is. Oh, they're in an audience now. Oh, that's fun. I feel like this is going to be fun.
Black Box Theater. Always interesting.
Might as well say it's fun. Okay. What is happening? What? Melto and Toa are dancing, and I don't know why, and I don't think they know why either. Okay, this is kind of amazing. Okay. I think Bamba was just tapping his toes.
I think he was, involuntarily. Puppets on a string.
This is kind of great. Weissel's got quite the voice.
Girls Run Tokyo, not an idol group.
Nope.
This is an idol group. Weissel is
Weissel's
now leading an idol group.
Weissel's got some pipes. And the audience is gone.
Freaky.
Huh. Some sort of reality warper Minotaur.
Ooh.
Whoa! Yep.
You cannot cross the proscenium.
Only performers are allowed on stage. You can't go on there unless you follow his command. Okay. So my bet is that the next one's going to be Asuna and Kanalo, and then it's going to wrap up with Ko and Bamba.
Yeah, and Ko and Bamba's duel might very well be against Precious.
No. We'll see.
Oh.
Just being carried away.
Alright. Nice use of the
It's
wire
showtime.
work rigs.
Alright, let's see. Let's see if I was correct in my prediction. Yep. Oh my. This. Yes.
Yes.
They are having fun. Oh no! Wait. Oh, does he know how the story ends? He did make it to the end. Yeah, that's a problem. You two will, naturally, be dying as well. Weisel, you're the best.
He still has... is the energy drink going to come in handy here? Because it makes you collapse?
Maybe. He killed Tybalt.
Of course he did.
Wait, okay, so he's... What? Asuna's like... Asuna's like, no, wait, no, wait, what, no, what? Shakespeare truly is brilliant.
And he hasn't noticed that these two fled the audience?
I don't think he seems to care too much. He's very much caught up in his show. I mean, you would think that he would want to maintain the audience. It's a shame that they never convey what mythological creature the Minosaurs are based off of when they, like, it's always evoked, but it's never stated. Oh, secret room. That's a little on the nose there.
Was this the green room?
Yep. 50 pages. Shakespeare is a long show. Whoa! That's nice. Uh-oh. Aspiring screenwriter. Or playwright, I suppose.
Playwright.
Yeah, aspiring playwright.
And that's why the Minosaur can write things and they happen.
It looks like he's, got parts of a chandelier in him.
The Minosaur.
Minosaur's in the middle of a fight, he can't rewrite. He just pulled out a bunch of pages in the middle. Yeah, I suppose that'll do the trick. And so, some stuff happened. That's great. Yeah, it's gonna drink the energy drink, which is ridiculous. It's the energy drink. The very spicy energy drink. Oh, so spicy. Now Juliet stabs herself though, so I'm not sure how you work around that one. Weisel, you're amazing. Is she gonna use his Mosa blade?
No, but in the play, she tries to drink poison first. She says, "You have left some for me."
Right.
Maybe he did leave her some for her.
That's a good point.
That's the extra serious way of saying I love you.
Well, I mean, it's Romeo and Juliet, so.
I know, but I don't mean just formal. I mean, for the most part, they don't use the same word that she just used for love.
Yeah. Spicy! Hardcore drink. Yeah. Okay. So he already knew the show very well, I guess, before reading it. Oh. He's like, oh.
Oopsie!
Yep. Oh, and now he's upset over his scripts.
Whoa!
Yeah, that's not
Minosaur's
good.
bursted out the ceiling.
Boom.
Oh, hi.
They look so ridiculous.
Let's Ryusoul change right in our flamenco outfits.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Whoop. Okay. Okay. It's got very dramatic all of a sudden. What? Oh, okay. So the final act. It's not between him and Bamba, it's between him and Weisel. Whee!
And Weisel has wire work. Of course he
Right.
does.
I'm amused by the wire.
Escape home!
Oh, Max. For what up until now has been a very goofy episode, they seem to have ramped up the drama for the moment.
Yes.
It's an interesting formation. I figure out which formation it is right now. It doesn't look like standard 5 knights. Unless I'm misinterpreting.
It's 5 minutes spinner. Not spinner.
Yeah. Considering the helmet, and it does seem to be a slightly different formation in general. Oh, nice.
It looks as 5 knights near needle.
Yeah. Well, there hasn't been a 5 knights mirror needle before, I believe.
There is now.
I mean, I'm not sure if there's been variations on 5 knights that I can recall before.
I think there definitely has been.
I mean, there's been plenty of variations on 3 knights, or the base form. But 5 knights, I thought just was the one form.
Gotcha.
Oh, oof. Oh, his applause. I think he's imagining this right now. Wazoo! And no. It's raining. What is happening? Sprinkler system? I'm trying to figure out if this is actually the end of Weisel or not. I mean, they did have that plan to destroy Kiran earlier, but we never did follow up on that. Okay. So, I'm confused. Weisel hasn't blown up or anything. He's just lying there.
I get the picture he's not quite dead yet.
Is this actually the end of Weisel?
He said I beat him, not I...
Yeah, I'm a little confused right now on if...
I think he may have left Weisel alive.
I'm not sure what's going on right now. Now he has a curious look. Okay. Okay. So... Yes. He's getting all glowy.
He's mortally wounded.
That's his curtain call? Oh.
So he was left alive, but mortally wounded. Tornado. The flailing arms are flailing. Thriller. Flailing arms are flailing in pose. So, did we just lose Uri and Weisel?
Maybe. Yeah. And Tank Joe's back again? How many times is Tank Joe gonna keep coming? Okay.
What are we watching?
But... So, there was no plan to get Weisel's heart back? Like they had hinted at the end of last week, which we were looking forward to hopefully seeing this week.
Apparently not.
I'm disappointed.
I mean, presumably Uri's gone off to America because she needs extra recovery time, but she was well enough just to come back and make a quick appearance to explain where she went.
Mm-hmm.
And we may or may not see her again, but if we do, it'll be a while, because she's got to go recover.
Right.
But maybe she'll come back from America, in a month or two.
Right, when we're right at the end of the series. Because we're getting towards the end of the series.
It's
just not
entirely possible
there.
for her to turn up for the end of the series. It's all like, yay!
Yeah.
I had a great time in America, guys. Let's pick up where we left off.
Yeah.
But I think that may be the actual end of Weisel. I'm not sure how I feel about that, because
he was our favorite of the
it's
generals.
all sad.
Like, and it didn't even feel like it needed to happen, as pretty much every death in this show tends to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Man.
I'm disappointed.
The writers are on shrooms, man.
I really didn't want to lose Weisel.
Me neither.
Like, I felt like it was coming. For a while now with the whole Precious and the Heart thing, but I was really kind of rooting for him.
Me too. I was hoping we'd lose Precious instead.
Yeah.
I kind of hoped Weisel was going to make it to the end.
I mean, he came into the show out of nowhere, and then just kind of, like, he came into the show, like, 7 episodes in with no explanation, and I think we're probably around 7 episodes away from the end of the show, and now he disappears. The pacing of the show has always been weird, but I mean, it was a fun episode for the most part.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's not like we didn't see that spicy drink thing coming.
Yeah, it's to the point where I kind of wish that we lingered a little bit less on the Romeo and Juliet second act business. I felt like that dragged a little bit. And I would have rather had a little bit more context on why this was Weisel's last stand.
Yeah, like Precious giving him one last chance or something like that.
Yeah, because I felt like we didn't really have that sort of lead in. Like, and especially...
I totally thought that he was going to use his puppet skills to make them fight Precious for him.
I thought that maybe...
To get his heart back.
I thought that maybe they had a plan to, like, maybe fake his destruction or something. I don't know. I don't know.
I am disappointed.
I was hoping that they were actually...
I am disappointed.
I was hoping they were actually going to follow up on that idea from the last episode. Ryusoulger, you got our hopes up.
This was
sad. This at least wasn't like... This wasn't
It
like...
wasn't not a bad, but
Yeah.
it was still bad.
Like, it was at least, he went out on an episode where he got to be the focus. And he did have some nice final moments. It just, again, didn't feel like it needed to happen. At least he got a little bit of a better send-off. Than...
It's your fur.
I mean, like, he got a way better send-off than Gachilius.
Oh, yeah.
By a notable
But he deserved
margin.
a way better send-off than Chilius.
And he got a better send-off than Nada, I would say.
Nada deserved better.
Definitely better than Udin.
Or Soba.
No, I think Sadin. I think Sadin. I think he's still.
There wasn't udon noodles either, but I'm just calling them udon and soba.
I think Sadin may have actually. I think Sadin actually survived the end of the last episode.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, he didn't get destroyed.
I don't know what's going on here anymore. He's just a repaint of udon, though.
Yeah,
and that's why he's soba to me.
Yeah, well, Udin and Sadin are the two characters.
Udon and soba.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss Weisel.
I'm gonna miss Weisel.
He was just so much fun. And, like, this episode reminds you, like...
Why he's so much fun.
He's a great villain. Him and Kieran together have just been the standouts of this show.
Man.
And we're going into the end game, it feels like now.
Without them.
Yeah, which, I mean, I recognize they weren't there at the beginning.
The only thing that I could give this
I recognize...
Like, one thing...
We're getting Tank Joe back again, which is just
I don't know
weird.
what's going on with that, but...
Like,
I feel like this is the part where Creon has to go on a rampage.
Yeah.
He's lost the only person who ever really respected him.
Yeah. But at the same time, though, he lost him to the Ryusoulgers, so that kind of takes away the chance at redemption that we were kind of leaning towards.
The redemption is out. Creon is
But I also don't know why things went this way.
On a rip-roaring rampage of revenge against the Ryusoulgers.
Like, I suspected that this was going to be Weisel's last stand.
Mm.
I just figured there would be more reasoning behind it other than...
More to it.
Now's the... Like, it was wacky Weisel wackiness for, like, the first 2/3 of the episode, and then it's like, all of a sudden there's just, we need to fight. And everything suddenly got very serious. I'm like, this is a tone shift, and I don't know why there's this tone shift happening. Like, why does he need this final fight right now? Why is this suddenly pressing? And it was still wacky, because he had the wire work, and he was still being Weisel. And I did very much love that he had that final moment of imagining the applause and winning. Because, honestly, I kind of wanted that for him. Just, he's an evil villain, but he just had such a great character to him, and he was so much more... He's more enjoyable than the heroes are.
He really is.
Still
want a Creon plushie.
I'm gonna miss Weisel.
Me too.
I've already said that plenty of times now. And that's
but
really
I feel like that's our main takeaway from this episode is we're gonna miss Weisel.
Like, hopefully, they're bringing back Kencho next episode, maybe we'll see him, like, get resurrected again. Because, if Tank Joe can keep coming back and Gatilius can come back,
why not Weisel?
Why not Weisel? Like, Tank Joe was fine, and he was, kind of enjoyable enough during the first handful of episodes, but he was never really fleshed out as any sort of character, so I'm not attached to him in the same way. Whereas Weisel has just been oozing character from day one. I feel like the show doesn't know how to utilize the potential of its own characters. They come up with some great characters, but they never really seem to know how to use them. Like, we've had all these villains over the course of the series, and they have their dynamics are so rarely explored, and they're never really treated as worthwhile characters in their own right. They just are, we can just destroy them, and it's fine, because they're the bad guys, and we don't need to feel anything for them, even if there's some interesting dynamic going on there. Like the whole dynamic that Precious brought to things with I have your hearts now, that really didn't feel like it went anywhere other than just...
No, and...
it added a level of desperation where they felt like they need to go into battle and prove themselves and end it, but...
Well, no, for Gatilius it did. Weisel just still laid around.
Like, I can only assume that might have been his motivation for this episode, because Gatilius went out 2 episodes ago. Yeah. Again, without it emphasizing, really, that this is going to be the last hurrah. Even though the episode prior to their destruction was along the lines of, getting ready to say goodbye in a certain regard. But then when it's actually their goodbye time, it's not really a focus on the goodbye, and in that, it's a weird thing. It's hard to entirely put a finger on it. not to mention the fact that Precious wasn't even in this episode. As that sort of driver for Wyzul. And they acted like there was this big rivalry specifically between him and Ko, which I don't feel like that's really been a thing.
It hasn't. They just pulled that out of their butt.
Like, it was time for him to have a final showdown with Ko because the Red Ranger needs to take down the villain. And I didn't feel like there was anything really driving that. Like, even Ko and Tank Joe, Tank Joe had taken down his mentor, Master Red, and so that makes a little bit more sense. But that was also weirdly handled, as we stated, way back then, where it's like, okay, he hasn't been harping on this revenge thing up until this episode, and then this is the episode where he fights Tank Joe and destroys him, except not really. Then he comes back next episode and is actually destroyed. With less climax to it. And then he comes back for another episode, like 20 episodes later, for no reason, and gets destroyed again. And apparently he's going to come back again next episode.
Next week. Probably get destroyed again, too. Pardon my belch.
But yeah, Ryusoulger is not a very well-structured show.
No, it's pretty awful.
Like, we enjoy elements of it, we enjoy the characters of it. Like, Wyzul was playing it up. We were having a great time most of this episode.
There are definitely characters that we love.
And there are moments that we love.
But there is no good the plot is terrible.
The plot is just stumbling from one thing to another.
It doesn't know what it's doing.
It does not have clear arcing. It doesn't have clear paths of development.
Mm-mm.
It just kind of stumbles from one plot point to another, throwing things in there that seem interesting and then resolving them anticlimactically. And that's what this show does. And we're used to that now. But it does have fun elements and fun ideas and fun visuals, and that's all well and good. Like, Wyzul in and of himself, it was never that he had like this super complex arc or anything. He just was a very enjoyable character, and actually he did have, to an extent, he had a little bit more of an arc, I guess you could say, than most, simply because it was that
longer.
It was not just that he was around longer, but also that he had that clearly burgeoning friendship with Kirian that did build and build and build.
Was just so beautiful.
Like, you saw it at the beginning. They didn't quite know how to handle each other, and like Kirian with Gachilius, it made him appreciate Wyzul more, and then they got back together, and it was great. And then there was this big concern because he felt like Wyzul wasn't going to be around much longer. And, you felt for him when it finally happened. And really that is a character arc. That is something...
You want to kill Wyzul. You have to kill me first.
It's like, it's too late. It's already done. It's like, uh-oh.
I have to
and I mean, to an extent, I think they did do a good job in that. We did feel emotional about this.
It's interesting, though, that basically the way that I was set up, he was given the opportunity to take out Kirian, and once again, they chose not to.
Yes. Which
Kirian was basically defenseless at that moment.
Yes. Which is an interesting thing. Because they did have that plan to just take out Kirian early on, and then
they forgot about it and never ever came back to it.
But Ko did just have that moment with Kirian where he thinks of him as being redeemable now.
Right, because he gave him the sword.
So
I slipped, stupid! I don't like it! I'm running away!
But him ending up... I now genuinely don't want him to end up with the Ryusoulgers at the end, simply because...
Of what they just did to Wyzul?
They just took out his best friend.
Yeah, no. I think the only way for him to wind up with the Ryusoulgers would have been for Precious to take out Wyzul.
I mean, yes. Wyzul was attacking them. He was trying to murder them.
It doesn't make plot sense anymore for that to happen.
But yeah, it makes sense that they take out Weisel. He was just trying to kill them 5 minutes ago, etc. But it would not make sense, I think, for Kieran to join with them at this stage. I don't know what makes sense for Kieran at this point. The last episode, it made it seem like he was leaning more towards the Ryusoulgers now.
Tank Joe's coming back, so maybe he'll just follow Tank Joe around.
I think it's just going to get really sad for Kieran over the course of the final episodes of the show.
Yeah, because everybody he knows is going to die. And I get the feeling that he might be one of the... He might either be left alone, or he might be one of the last ones dead, so he's going to have to watch everyone else die first.
Well, it's not just that. He's just... The characters who are left are just going to abuse him horribly.
Terribly.
Because he's not...
Although they might not abuse him quite as bad as Gachilius did. Gachilius was hardcore.
I know that, but I'm nervous for him now, because he lost his feeling of...
Precious, at the very least, is going to know better than to work him so hard he starts falling down, because Precious will want to continue using him and won't want to wear him out too fast.
Well, here's my concern for him right now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like right now, he's fed up. He's going to be fed up with both sides. Because he's going to blame Precious for pushing Weisel. He's going to blame the Rangers for destroying Weisel. And Precious isn't going to take no for an answer.
No, Precious is not going to take
And I think it's going to get very bad for Kieran when Kieran tries to say no.
Fair enough.
I don't know if it's going to get to the point where he'd be willing to work with the Ryusoulgers or not, considering what just happened. Unless they find a way to resurrect Weisel. But I think that it's going to go very poorly for Kieran moving forward. And I feel bad for the little dude. Yeah, this was a very fun episode, and then it became very much a downer episode.
Yeah, I didn't feel like the answer when we got to the end.
Yeah.
It was way downer.
This just feels like such a sad note to end on. At least he got to go out doing what he loved. He got to go out on a performance, and that was appropriate.
Yeah, and he didn't just die. He also got to get up and do his
he got to have his death scene. He wanted his.
I'm going to walk up the stairs.
He wanted his curtain call.
Balloon.
He needed his curtain call, which is a very odd way to go out. Just in terms of how we've seen monsters go out until this, Druidons go out until this point.
It was very
but you know what? It was a very wise way to go out. He needed his curtain call. So I think with that, I think it's time for our curtain call. So, until next time, farewell, Ranger fans, and let the power protect you. For never was a story of more woe than this of Kirion and his Weisel.